Dear ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment in your life when you stop shrinking to fit the room and start standing to own it. Too many of us have walked into opportunities, spaces, or seasons like we're apologizing for existing, as if we have to earn the right to breathe the same air as the people around us. But let me declare something over your life today. You were made for this. You don't need to wait for validation to claim your space. You walk in like you belong, not because you're arrogant, but because God has already placed something in you that qualifies you beyond human approval. There is power in presence, not pretense. Your quiet confidence, your scars, your story, they are not signs of shame. They are signs of survival, purpose, and promise. Some of you have been walking around like renters in your own calling, scared to move the furniture because you're afraid the world might evict you from your destiny. But today, we flip the script. You don't walk in questioning whether you're enough. You walk in knowing you carry something valuable. You carry divine authority. Don't let insecurity steal your entrance. Don't let fear rob your walk. Your story may not look like anyone else's, and that's the point. You were never called to blend in. You were called to break through. The room doesn't validate your worth. You validate the room by bringing your presence, your fire, and your full self. You don't need permission to be powerful. You've already been positioned by purpose, so the next time you step into a meeting, a dream, a ministry, or a relationship, walk in like you belong. Because you do. 10 key points of the speech. You don't need external validation to walk in confidence. Your identity is already affirmed. Shrink no more. Stop minimizing your presence to make others comfortable. You were born to lead, influence, and occupy your space unapologetically. Confidence is not arrogance. It's agreement with the purpose God placed inside you. Insecurity is a thief, and it's time to evict it from your mind and your steps. Every room you walk into is an opportunity to release the greatness inside of you. You are not a mistake or an afterthought. You are a divine assignment. You don't wait for favor, you walk in it. Even your past failures are a setup for the authority you carry today. The power is not in how loud you walk in, but how clear your identity is when you do. You don't need external validation to walk in confidence. Your identity is already affirmed. We live in a culture obsessed with approval, thumbs up, likes, applause, confirmation from the crowd. But when you're truly walking in purpose, you don't wait on claps to take your next step. Confidence is not something the world grants you, it's something heaven already planted inside you. It's rooted in knowing who you are before you step into the room, not in how the room reacts once you're there. See, the danger of depending on external validation is that it becomes your oxygen. If people cheer, you feel worthy. If they're silent, you feel small. But that's not how kingdom confidence works. Real confidence doesn't rise and fall based on someone else's reaction. It's not fickle. It doesn't flinch. Confidence is built when you start agreeing with what God says about you more than what people think about you. You were not created to beg for acceptance. You were called to operate from identity. Before anyone ever knew your name, God spoke it over your life with power and purpose. Before they liked your post, He loved your soul. Before they called you talented, He called you chosen. And when you start truly walking in that identity, your steps change. You stop entering rooms with your shoulders hunched and your voice hesitant. You walk in with your head high, heart full, and feet firm because you know who you are and whose you are. You've already been affirmed. Not by titles, not by trends, but by truth. And that truth says you are fearfully and wonderfully made. That you were created on purpose, with purpose, and for a purpose. That you're not waiting for someone to crown you. You already wear the identity of royalty. So next time the voice of doubt says, "Who do you think you are?" you respond not with arrogance, but with authority. I am called, I am crafted, I am enough. Because when you truly believe that, you no longer need a seat at the table to prove your value. You bring value to the table the moment you show up, absolutely. Here's a *** large length expansion of key point 2 ** from the speech **. Walk in like you belong, **, without subtitle or conclusion. delivered in a Stephen Furtick style motivational tone. There's a shift that happens when you stop trying to fit in and start standing out. Fitting in is about safety. It's about shrinking to make others comfortable. It's about scanning the room and adjusting yourself to match what everyone else looks like, talks like, acts like. But standing out, that's about owning your difference. That's about refusing to apologize for the way God wired you, even when your uniqueness threatens their sameness. You weren't meant to blend in. You weren't born to play small. You were built to disrupt the atmosphere. You were called to bring light into places where darkness has settled. And light never asks permission before it shines, it just shows up and shifts everything. When you start walking in like you belong, you're no longer looking for permission to be who you are. You're walking in the authority of who you were created to be. See, the enemy's greatest tactic isn't always to destroy you. Sometimes it's to distract you by making you obsessed with comparison. He'll whisper, "Look at them, they're more polished. They have more experience. They fit the mold better than you ever will." And the moment you start believing that lie, you start editing yourself. You filter your purpose. You dim your light. You minimize your voice. But God didn't call you to be a clone. He called you to be a catalyst. You're not here to conform. You're here to transform. You are most powerful when you are most authentic. And the world doesn't need more polished performances. It needs raw, bold, real purpose. Walkers who know they carry something different. And yes, different might get criticized. Different might feel lonely. But different also gets noticed. Different breaks chains. Different changes lives. So stop trying to fit the narrative others wrote for you and start living the story God is still writing through you. You're not here to echo. You're here to lead. When you walk in like you belong, it's not arrogance, it's alignment. Alignment with the truth that you were never meant to be background noise in someone else's story. You were meant to be the voice that awakens something in others. The moment you choose to stand out instead of fit in, you give others permission to do the same. And suddenly, you're not just walking into a room, you're shifting the room. Certainly. Here's the *** large length expansion of key point 3 ** from the speech **. Walk in like you belong * in a powerful, bold Stephen Furtick style voice beginning directly without subtitle or conclusion. Let me tell you something that will shake your soul awake. Confidence isn't arrogance. Confidence is clarity. It's not about walking into a room thinking you're better than everyone else. It's about walking into that room with a quiet fire that says, "I know who I am. I know whose I am, and I'm not leaving my worth outside just because it makes people uncomfortable inside." You don't need to puff up your chest, fake a smile, or pretend you have it all together. Confidence isn't loud, it's secure. It's not about making noise, it's about making impact. When you walk in with confidence, it's not because of what you have, it's because of what you've survived. Confidence is forged in the furnace of failure, rejection, disappointment, and delay. Every scar, every tear, every silent battle built this. Confidence is your quiet yes in a world full of maybes. And here's the truth. The enemy isn't scared of people who fake strength. He's scared of those who have learned strength. People who have fought battles in private, but still show up in public like warriors. People who have heard every no, been shut out, been underestimated, and still walk in like they've already got the victory. That's not ego, that's evidence of growth. Some of you have been dimming your light, shrinking your voice, and apologizing for the space you take up, not because you lack value, but because someone convinced you that confidence was a threat. Let me break that lie right now. Your confidence doesn't make you a problem, it makes you a mirror. Because when you walk boldly, unapologetically, fully aligned with your purpose, you reflect what others could be if they stopped playing small. Confidence walks in the room before your talent does. It speaks even when you're silent. It announces your presence not with noise, but with *weight*, and that weight isn't heavy, it's holy. Because when you know your assignment, when you understand that God placed you here on purpose, with purpose, for a purpose, you stop looking for seats at tables that were never meant to hold your destiny. You don't walk in wondering if you're enough. You walk in knowing you were chosen. You walk in knowing that even if doors are locked, your presence is the key. Even if they ignore you, heaven endorses you. Even if they don't clap, you were never performing for their applause anyway. So straighten your back, lift your head, take up space. You're not just walking in for you, you're walking in for every version of you that doubted, feared, or hesitated. You're walking in because you know now you were born to belong. Absolutely. Here's the *** expanded key point 4 * in large length, continuing in a powerful Stephen Furtick, inspired voice without subtitle or conclusion. Every time you take a step forward in faith, even if you're scared, even if your legs are shaking, you're proving something not just to the world but to yourself. You're proving that courage isn't about the absence of fear. It's about the decision to move forward in the face of it. There are people waiting to see what it looks like when someone walks in uncertain but unapologetic someone who says, I might not have all the answers, but I'm not turning around now. You don't have to fake it till you make it. You can faith it while you grow through it. Because that voice in your head telling you that you don't belong, that's not truth, that's trauma. That's not your inner compass, that's your old conditioning. And the longer you let that voice dominate, the longer you'll stay in rooms where your brilliance is boxed, your boldness is silenced, and your vision is doubted. But the moment you shift from asking for permission to walking in with conviction everything changes. You begin to realize that you weren't just invited to the table, you are the table. You carry something unique. Your perspective, your experience, your wounds, your wisdom, all of it is needed. But here's the key. It will never be validated by people who are intimidated by your authenticity. So stop shrinking to fit their comfort zone. Stop filtering your fire to make others feel less cold. Some rooms will only clap for you once you're gone, but you're not here for applause you're here for assignment. And the thing is, God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the called. So stop waiting until you feel ready. You're not walking in because you're perfect, you're walking in because you're positioned. You're not showing up because you've mastered everything, you're showing up because you're in motion and motion beats perfection every single time. Some of you have been walking like you're renting your life, like you're temporary, like you're replaceable, like you're just lucky to be here. No, you're planted not potted. This is your place, this is your lane, this is your season. Stop tiptoeing around like you're interrupting someone else's moment. You are the moment. You've been equipped for it. You've been called to it. And when you walk like you believe that, you don't just shift your life, you shift the atmosphere around you. Walk into your calling like you know who authored it. Certainly. Here's the * expanded key point 5 * in a Stephen Furtick, inspired style full of depth, energy, and conviction, with no subtitle or conclusion. You don't need to wait for external validation to start moving in your assignment. If you're always waiting for someone to clap for you, to invite you, to see you, you'll always stay stuck at the door. But you were never meant to wait on an invitation for a room you were born to build. Stop asking people for directions to a destiny God already mapped inside you. You carry a divine imprint. You carry a specific fire. And if you wait for people to recognize it before you activate it, you'll stay paralyzed by their silence. There are people who will never endorse your purpose because your purpose confronts their comfort. You intimidate the insecure, you frustrate the fake, you challenge the complacent, and that's okay, because your calling doesn't come with a consensus, it comes with a covenant. So when you walk in like you belong, you're not walking in arrogance, you're walking in alignment. Some of you have been shrinking yourself to fit into places you've outgrown, playing small to make others feel big, hiding your voice so others don't feel exposed, But hear this, you don't owe anyone your silence to keep their ego intact. You were called to be salt and light, not safe and silent. You were called to rise, not to retreat. Don't let fear decorate your cage with comfort. Just because you've gotten used to the doubt doesn't mean you have to stay with it. Walk in even when your hands are trembling. Walk in even when your heart is racing. Walk in even when your past tries to scream louder than your future. Because if you keep waiting until you feel enough, you'll miss the moment where God moves asterisk through asterisk, you're not enough. You see, the enemy doesn't attack you because of where you've been, he attacks you because of where you're asterisk going asterisk. And every time you delay stepping into your purpose, you give fear more territory than it deserves. But when you step out boldly, humbly, purposefully, you break that cycle, you reclaim your identity, you send a message that says, I may not have everything figured out, but I asterisk refuse asterisk to stay hidden one more day. So walk into every space like you carry the answer to a problem. Because you asterisk do asterisk, walk like someone who knows they're not perfect, but they're positioned, not qualified by degrees, but chosen by design. You don't need to know asterisk how asterisk it's all going to work. You just need to know asterisk who asterisk called you. And when you walk like that, when you live like that, you don't just enter rooms, you shift atmospheres.